So guess where I'm driving, guys? This could be London.
This couldn't be England at all. The roads are too big. The cars are massive.
It could be Canada.
No,
It could be... Canada's on the same side.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
I don't think so. It's North America. This definitely couldn't be Canada. We should check that just in case.
Or this could be Hong Kong.
Hong Kong, nah, too much greenery for Hong Kong.
Or it could be Australia.
Where are we?
Did you know there's a suburb in Australia called Warrawee? So it's like, where are we? Where are we? Where are we? Where are we? We used to make fun, like, where are we? Warrawee.
So when you're down under, you gotta drive cars that Australian guys or Australian chicks like to drive. A lot of guys and girls like to drive SUVs and what they call utes.
No, I think SUVs are just good to drive in general. So before I went back to Hong Kong, one of my first cars that I drove in Australia, which was a hand-me-down from my parent, was actually an SUV. It was a Honda CR-V, and that was super reliable. And I pretty much drove the CR-V until it was dead, and then I kind of left a crappy car for my parents to sell once I left Hong Kong, once I left Australia.
Sarah's parents have a knack of driving their cars until they completely drop dead. They had an Odyssey which clocked up
300 something thousand kilometers.
300,000 kilometers. I'm not even sure that's possible.
Dad sold the Odyssey for 2,000 Aussie dollars. He was so sad to part with it. He didn't want to sell it, and we're telling him this car's too dangerous to drive and it's going to cost you a lot of money for repairs. So yeah, we pretty much gave it away for 2,000 bucks, but to be honest, it's had its time.
300,000 kilometers. Nuts, man.
But I think for younger people, they like to drive the smaller cars, like the hatchbacks, because it's more nifty, easy to park.
She's talking about me, the younger people who like to drive hatchbacks like Renault Meganes and Golf Rs. How do you say Golf R in Australian?
Golf R.
You can't make it any more Australian.
No, it just sounds normal. Golf R.
Golf R. It's not Golf R.
Golf R, lol.
So we're sat in, I think, a first generation BMW X1, and we're heading out to Penrith Plaza. So we're having lunch with Mum, Sarah's mum. This isn't going to be a review of this car because we don't have that much time to film the exterior of the car. What we did do a year back was borrow a Toyota CHR, and we vlogged that because one of our YouTube friends asked us to, and that's been sat on the shelf for, wow, a year now. It's quite a nice way to intro that clip and at the same time talk about SUVs and utes in Australia.
The CHR was a hybrid, right? So I was about to say, the great thing about driving my parents' cars, because I don't have to fuel up. I just drive it and then I leave and then they fuel it up. Sounds terrible, doesn't it? It was just, you know, a good drive.
Well, you know, enough talking. The only way to find out is to relive and rewatch the clip. Let's have a look. I've never properly driven a hybrid, so I don't know what I'm doing, but apparently this car is 1,800cc and it's 98 horsepower, so don't expect it to do anything fast and crazy. What's really good is the turning circle. You can turn in one go. It's a Toyota, not like your typical Prius. It's a bit sexy looking. Why we've chosen this car is because one of our YouTube friends, I think it's called Firebolt, he asked us to review this car. How's it feel?
It just feels like a normal car.
It feels like a car.
I wouldn't know how to describe it. This whole hybrid thing is a bit too technical for me. I basically just know that it runs on fuel and electricity, so I have the option to use both, and then I'm doing something good for the environment, and I can save money and not have to spend a lot of money on petrol. That's all I know about hybrid cars. Do you guys agree with me? I mean, the girls out there.
That's about right. It's not your top of the range car. There's not even a music system. Damn.
Really?
Where is it?
Well, I guess you can add that on.
It's comfy. It's economical. But
It looks nice.
for people who love driving, they like to have a car that really like has a kick to it. And this car has a very weak kick.
It's quite comfortable. That I have to say, it's very comfortable. The seats are comfortable. The steering wheel grip is comfortable. All the mirrors are very large and clear. It's a comfortable car.
Sufficient, but I think it could be roomier.
$400,000 isn't exactly very affordable, but I guess you can save on petrol money.
You can do.
Yeah, and you're doing the environment some good.
Yeah, that's true.
Come on, we're all about being environmentally friendly. It's good
Do
PR.
it. Save the world. Make the world a better place. Almost every time we come back to Australia, we go to. We love it here. Where are we?
We are at Bondi Beach, one of my favorite all-time spots. I think for everyone as well, not just me.
For me too.
Yeah.
Why? Because there's the sun. What goes well with the sun?
Beach.
So this is quite a strange vlog in which we drive two cars, and the second car is a Tiguan. The Tiguan is parked over there.
The parking lot.
It's not really a review of the cars because we spent no time filming the cars, but it's a nice way to repackage the CHR or the CRV. I've forgotten now. I could lie here forever, do nothing, and just chill out. Last and final drive in Australia. What is it?
We're driving a Tiguan.
A Tiguan Generation 1. First generation.
Is this the first generation?
It is, I think. The new one is Tiguan 2 and also the Allspace 7. You'll just have to take my word for it. Of the three cars, actually the CHR wasn't a bad drive, but it was over a year ago, so it's hard to recall exactly how it felt, how it controlled, how it drove.
I think the CHR is very sufficient for Hong Kong. It's more of a city drive type of car.
Yeah.
Whereas I think the Tiguan, even for Australia, it's quite a powerful car.
I think it's sufficient. This one has no turbo in it, so it's not crazy. There's a new Tiguan R, which apparently is a lot of fun to drive, but this one is sufficient. Of all three cars, I think this is the most spacious. It has a bit more oomph than the others, but then the CHR was only a 1.5, I think.
The Tiguan feels a little sturdier as well, even compared to the X1.
We're going back to Hong Kong. We're going to find more family cars to test drive. We did an event for the Tiguan Allspace 7. I think that should be a fun car to drive and totally practical for a family. And also there's the Tiguan R, which I'm a big fan of because it's slightly smaller and it's, I think, a little more nimble. So let's find out in Hong Kong.